Hey guys, welcome once again to our home renovation tour. This is the second update. As you can see, ang dami na nangyayari and makikita talaga natin that this is not your regular home renovation, or this is not even a typical home construction style, because everything here is made out of pre-engineered buildings. I'll talk more about it and all the little details and why we chose this system, as well as how we're able to build even if meron ng structure sa baba pero dagdagan natin sa taas. That's our video for today. Alright, the last time we were here, wala pa tong mga structure, wala pang mga bones yung bahay natin. But ngayon, meron na akong mapapakita. So, mas ma-explain ko na ng maayos yung concept natin on why we chose this route. This route, itong PEB or prefabricated steel construction, hindi to common route when it comes to houses. But there's a very specific reason on why we chose it. I'll try to explain as we go along. So ito, same pa rin ng setup namin dati. The bottom area is the garage. Makikita natin our very first EV, the BYD Tang. Yun, so this will be the garage area still. So we had a very high ceiling. This is the lower area na garage, and makikita natin that we've laid out the staircase going up to this level here. This level upstairs, this will be the new office, podcast area, vlogging area, and whatever that is. So that may private space kami ni Chris whenever we need to get some work done na hindi kami naiistorbo ng mga bata. So syempre, maingay na yung bahay ngayon. So itong staircase na to, we're gonna take out this glass area. This glass area leads to the kitchen there. So wala na to siya. So galing sa kitchen, we can go up straight to the office above. Meron ding mga gym areas above. We'll take a look more, and a bigger area for the rest of the family here. So let's talk about the details of this area, why we chose the steel construction. I've been in steel construction for a very long time. I actually made a video, the advantages and disadvantages of steel versus concrete construction. Ito is a composite, so this is a pipe na medyo makapal talaga, and then sa loob nito may mga rebars pa and may concrete pa sa loob. So when you knock on it, hindi siya hollow. It's a combination of concrete and steel. Just for the column, because we wanted to keep it as small as possible and as sleek as possible, and because we need it to be very strong because it's supporting all the weight of this second floor area without having an intermediate column here. So that's the reason why. Now, itong pre-engineered buildings, I think maganda to na opportunity to talk more about it. Typically, in normal construction, kadalasan, dinadala natin lahat ng mga materials on-site, fix it and assemble it on-site, and then build the house on-site. Like 95% of the work is done dito mismo sa site. Now, with a pre-engineered building, malinis na siya because the structure is done off-site. So, parang Lego na lang talaga to. They have computers, they have cutters, they have machines there that make sure that this is as accurate as possible here. This is sandblasted, derusted, and painted even before it arrives the site. So, mga touch-up na lang yung mga kailangan natin gawin pagdating sa site. And it is just done better because it's done in a controlled environment. But not only that, the speed of that, sobrang bilis talaga kasi Lego na lang halos lahat. So a lot of the connections here, as much as possible, binobolt natin. So ang daming mga bolted connections. We still have some welding works, pero mas minimal na talaga siya. So that is the biggest advantage of a pre-engineered building. Now, when it comes to cost, alam ko maraming mga tatanong, this is a little bit more expensive. Especially in a house setup, mas mahal talaga ng konti yung steel construction. Pag mga warehouse, industrial types, pare-pareho lang. Mas mabilis lang talaga to. There are pros and cons. Check out the video, I'll link to the description down below. While we're renovating, we decided to put na lang din yung EV charging station natin. So this is something that a lot of people should start considering. Even sa condos namin, meron ng mga EV stations talaga, mga developments namin. This is getting to be more and more of a request. So sa atin, nilagyan na natin ng BYD charging station, pero syempre hindi pa to enclosed, so we put up a temporary shelter for it. And ito yung BYD tank natin. We've been enjoying this car. Ang dami namin good things to say about it. Let me know in the comments if you want a review for the BYD tank and just the EV life in general. Oh, magiging car reviewer na tayo. Okay, so dito talaga yung magic and kung ano talaga yung totoong purpose on why we did the whole prefab thing. Because here, behind this, we're building a structure, a second floor, on top of an existing structure. So ito yung challenge dito, and this is how we made it happen. So ito. Ang dami ng sinira natin. The entrance of the kitchen used to be here, so we're transferring the door here. But this is the reason why we chose the prefabricated route. So we dug this area, placed foundations here, while still being able to make the kitchen functional, and then binutasan natin yung bubong going straight up. Siyempre, we did some sort of protection there, mga plastic, mga tarp dun sa taas, just to make sure that minimal yung mga tulo coming in here. We even protected the solar inverters and the batteries to make sure none of this gets damaged. But it took a lot of detailing to make sure that, okay, the column will be here, and there's another column here. So yun, didiretso natin to the roofing up above. Even our storage area, sinimulan na nating tanggalin yung roof area, and this is the tarp that we've been talking about. Pero pagpasok natin, this used to be our stock room. Makikita natin, mas kumpleto na dito. Tinanggal na talaga natin yung roofing. Dito, what you see is called a steel deck system. Pag gumagawa tayo ng second floor, and then kailangan natin i-concrete yun, di ba? So, lalagyan natin siya ng mga usually plywood or phenolic boards, and kailangan i-support dito sa baba to make sure that the weight above doesn't fall down. And when you pour concrete, when you put rebars, when people are stepping on. But here, we are able to use this space because we have this system. So everything was considered when we built this. The point was, hindi kami kailangan lumipat while renovating. So ito yung whole point talaga of this type of system. Pagdating dito, may mga butas na yung mga connections dyan sa taas. And those are all bolted on by galvanized bolts. One of the reasons why we went for the bolted connection is that we are able to lessen the time, but not only that, the welding works on site. Siyempre, when we weld, merong mga spark, we wanted to keep that at a minimum as much as possible. The last time you guys saw this, butas lang talaga to. So, hinukay natin, nilagyan natin ng foundation. Now we're paying the flooring. I'm sure a lot of people have gone to a lot of buildings na ganito yung underside. If you're okay with an industrial look, pwede na to. Hindi ka na mag-ceiling. Ito na yung ceiling mo. Makikita lang yung mga electrical wirings and all these things. But from a service area standpoint, ito stock room, pwede na to. Hindi na namin kailangan ayusin yan after it's all done. As we exit the storage area, ito pala guys, palaging kulang yung storage area ng bahay. Even in our house, when we were kind of like ready already now, we need a big storage area, kulang pa rin. So in our new renovation, pinalakihan pa natin yung storage area. So there will be an additional storage area up above. This will be made even bigger. I think that's one tip that I can give to future homeowners out there. Make sure you have big enough room for storage and big enough room for more cars as much as possible as your family grows. You would really appreciate na, okay, na-foresee natin yan. As we move along in our tour, we have a new set of staircase. We had to transfer a lot of the air conditioning. This is a special staircase wherein it only leads to a private area for our angels. As we grow as a family, mas marami din tayong kailangan na tulong dito sa bahay. And we wanted to provide them with a bigger, more restful space. So, meron silang isang buong section that will be accessed through this staircase. Yan, that's for the ground floor area. The hard part about a renovation versus a home construction is you have an existing structure. So it's all about alignment and a lot of actual work that has to be done. Actual meaning on-site work. Kasi lahat sa plano, okay, this is 1 meter long, let's say for example. But pagdating sa site, usually hindi talaga yun yung sakto. So a lot of the things that kahit naka-computer tayo, kahit kumpleto tayo with the details, there are adjustments that have to be done on site. This is the hard part of a renovation. I actually prefer just building on a completely blank plate versus trying to align everything. May challenge lang talaga. Although masasabi ko, I'm very, very thankful that my dad, parang hinabi na niya to. Siya yung nag-manage, siya yung nag-project engineer for this whole renovations. Itong mga ideas that I'm showing you actually came from him. Thank you, Dad. In this area, ito na yung naging second floor natin. If you look down below, that is our garage area. That area is going to be the office area, as I've said. And then this area would be partly a gym. And then that big area, that whole area, hanggang dito, would be for our angels. So that's kind of like the whole space here. It's more of using the areas that we want to be private, meaning the gym and the office, and putting it in the second floor, and converting everything at the bottom into something more family-oriented. The existing gym would be converted into a tutor, coffee, nook, study area type of thing. This is what you see for now. That's the crane being used to install this. Sobrang tuwang-tuwa yung mga bata whenever that's being used. Dito makikita natin yung mga solar panels natin. Yung BYD natin, yung electric vehicle natin, fully 100% libre yung paggamit because we charge it during the high noon. Okay, plug tayo. So, ito yun. We may need to add a little bit more, but we have room pa to place more panels if needed. But zero bill pa rin tayo. There's this thing in construction though. Medyo malaki talaga tong area na to. Ang weird ng construction is because, mukhang maliit. And then, when you close it off, mas mukha pa siyang liliit. Pag may wall na siya, parang maliit siya. But when you start putting furniture, pag may scale na yung mata natin with the furniture and all, parang lalaki siya ulit. A lot of contractors can relate, and architects, na pag nagsa-site visit sila sa mga clients nila, oy, parang maliit yung space engineer, parang maliit yung space architect. But hindi talaga natin makukuha yung use and yung scale ng space until we put furnitures para may perspective tayo and may comparison. So, konting insight lang. Itong steel na to, that's already pre-cut, sakto na tong height na to. So, ang ginagawa natin, that is called the rafter or kind of like a roof beam. Galing dun sa other end of the column towards this part, this will be kind of like a overhang on this end. Nakikita natin, it's starting to take shape. So, that would be the roof framing. Going from there to here, very minimal disturbances and a lot of time saved. So itong steel deck is kind of like this. Parang ganito lang siya, na binaliktad siya, sa baba siya nilagay. That's going to be overlap pa and then hanggang dito talaga siya to this side. But that serves as an unofficial, parang ceiling muna while we're doing the whole construction thing here and adds a lot of ease when it comes to the construction of this house. So, yun yung steel deck na yun. The original plan was to actually have the second floor on this side, but this is our living, our master's bedroom, Scotty's bedroom, Sevi's bedroom, and everyone else's. This is our living quarters. Ang inisip namin na, okay, that can be done, but that would be a lot more expensive and kailangan talaga natin lumabas ng bahay while this is being done. But especially with Saxon, newborn, syempre, we didn't want to be moving around. We wanted to be comfortable for, not just for us, but also for him. So I think this is the best way we could think of executing this. Very excited for this, but I told Chris already, hindi ako magmamadali kasi ayoko yung stress. Yung bahay namin, yung original Skypod, was built in 10 months. But a very, very stressful 10 months because you have to kind of forecast everything, make sure everything is done right so that aligned talaga siya. That's the fastest way of going about it. But this time, I'm taking my time and saying like, okay, itong glass baka wag na natin i-sliding, i-jalousin na natin. I can do it on the spot with visual na a little bit more time intensive, a little slower, a little bit more expensive in the sense wherein may mga chances of a lot of revisions, but I feel like mas importante sa akin yung peace of mind ngayon, especially being very, very busy. But I hope you guys like this tour. I hope na meron tayong maipupulot. I'll put up the link down below to my dad's company, High Speed Construction. They do all these kinds. Actually, ang ginagawa talaga nila is mga big warehouse, big industrial complex na puro steel. So, Lander Cebu, sila gumawa. They've done this for decades talaga. So, if you have any needs, I'll put up their website down below. But also, yung goal natin for this year, hopefully, I don't know, 900 something plus subscribers na tayo. Gusto natin umabot ng 1 million. I hope you guys can support me. If you're watching this video, click subscribe. And I feel like if everyone watching the video who's not subscribed will subscribe, we can get to 1 million very, very, very quickly. So that's kind of like my next dream. Na at least may gold din ako na plaque kasi si Chris lang meron ngayon. Anyway guys, I hope you like this video and I'll see you later.